Hey there YouTube, it's Little Adam here, I'm back. Okay, so street photography. I get more excited about street photography than any other art form, and I'm really looking forward to sharing more about that with you in this video. Recently I was in New York City where I got to take a whole load of street photos, and I'm going to share them with you here. Shh! Now I'm going to start by sharing what the secret to successful street photography is all about. But what is it not? Now, street photography is not specifically taking photographs of buildings, cars, streets and city skylines. That, well, really there's no difference to that and landscape photography when you think about it. I know we think about landscape photography as great sort of countryside views, but if you're just going to take photos of city skylines and buildings on a street, that's kind of the same thing. Street photography is all about taking photos of human beings interacting with each other and the environment that they're in, and for you as the street photographer to actually capture them at that decisive moment where the viewer of your photograph can see a whole story unfold around what is going on there. If street photography was about taking photos of urban landscapes, well, I don't think that there would be the same fun in it for the viewer. You see, street photography is all about the viewer trying to interpret the story. So if we were to take a photograph of a famous building in New York, let's say the Empire State Building for example, and it makes a great photo. So we take that photo, but the thing is that we can Google the Empire State Building and we can find out everything we want to find out about the Empire State Building with the Google search results that'll come up there. Whereas we can take photos of people interacting with that space and enjoying the Empire State Building, and we can interpret the photographs and we can figure out what their stories are, and it's a mystery, but it's also the fun part about street photography. So when I think about street photography, it's like, if you can look at a street photo, or what can be described as a street photo, and in it you can see a whole story unfolding about its participants, so the subjects of the photo, and it's been edited nicely and it's captured a really nice decisive moment, and you as the viewer can interpret the photo in so many different ways. But then you can also look at it and the photo might not seem current, or it might not seem tied to a specific date or time or even a certain place. You know, that's a good street photo. But that said, I had a great time taking some street photos in New York City recently, so let's go and have a look at them. Ah, New York. You know, I just love the atmosphere of the place, the busyness, the sounds, the smells, the food that's available. This is Times Square. There's always something brilliant happening in Times Square, and I just love the screens. This is the big chocolate store at Times Square. Great fun. This is the view from the Rockefeller looking towards the Empire State Building. It's hard not to take a good photo in New York. You can always get some wonderful photos of just some of the vintage architecture there. I had a brilliant time taking some of these shots around the place. This is from the top of the Empire State Building. This is again from the Empire State Building looking back towards Central Park. But to start talking about street photography, let's have a look at this shot of Grand Central Station. Okay, so currently it's a wide shot, but I took it to try and illustrate the point here. So if we actually look closer at different parts of the photo, we can see lots of different stories unfolding with the people in there. And that's what street photography is all about. It's about finding the story. I was on the top of an open deck bus and I could just see this shot about to happen. There's this lady running across the crossing at the last minute in front of all of these taxis and other cars. She was obviously in a hurry. So what's her story? Why was she in such a hurry? What's happening for her right now as I'm taking this photo that's making her dash across there? For me, that's just what a nice street photo is all about. It's about asking all of the questions. I actually took this photo in the Bronx. Maybe a little bit dangerous to be around that particular area of New York after dark with a camera, but in this shot I've actually used a lot of the available lighting, or lack of lighting. There's hardly any street lighting around that area. I've actually used all of that to really try and emphasize the story coming out here, and I just love it. What is the story for these two ladies here about to cross the street? This is what I love about street photography, the interpretability of it. Again, I just love to use the available lighting available on the street. I saw this liquor store and I thought, yeah, there's going to be something amazing as a photo that's going to happen here with this available lighting. There wasn't any other street lighting available, and that's actually something I really quite liked about the Nikon D810, with the way I was able to work with the low light like this. Yeah, tourists on a bus, great fun. These two old ladies in front of me, yeah, just the way that they cackled along, it was funny. You had to be there. So, a beautiful view of the Empire State Building taken from the Rockefeller Center. But how's about a photo of a beautiful person enjoying the beautiful view? And these beautiful people as well, they were just enjoying the space, and so I thought, well, it's lovely, I'll just tell their story with a photograph. This is actually the David Bowie memorial that sprung up outside his apartment on Lafayette Street. I just took the photo because, hey, the story's there. Why is this particular person a fan? What about David Bowie's music touched this person so much that they wanted to visit it? For me, yeah, I actually wanted to visit the memorial myself because I'm a big David Bowie fan, and I was in New York at the time. I had to do it. I guess it's hard not to take street photos in New York and not take a photo of a hot dog stand. This one was a little bit opportunistic, but hey, I thought I would. It's probably not one of the best photos that I took. Again, street art. I actually really like street art overall, and when I saw this spring up, when I saw this had sprung up, I thought, yeah, I'll take a photo of that, and I wonder what the story is behind it. So again, beautiful spot, great tourist location, and makes a great photograph. But why not a photograph of people enjoying it and actually capturing their beauty enjoying that space? Brooklyn Bridge, these two tourists enjoying the Brooklyn Bridge and taking a selfie. It was cold. And I just love this girl's expression. It was actually on my first day in New York in January 2016 that I reckon I took some of my favourite street photos there, and they were of this guy. I just heard this beautiful music playing in Central Park, and I had to track down where it was coming from. And so I found this guy playing his guitar. So I was able to snap these absolutely beautiful photos of this guy. He was so cooperative, he allowed me to take these photos, and I'm so very grateful to him that he did.